Okay, welcome to another edition of Real Estate Investor Talk. And standing with me is Roux. Jan is the CEO of the Leapfrog Property Group. And I've just interviewed Jan for our Master Investor Story. Jan is a veteran in the industry. It's almost 30 years, Jan, you said coming up?
Within a few months, it'll be 30 years.
30 years, so there's a lot of experience here. And Jan, just tell us a little bit about the story, how you started, where you got today with the Leapfrog Group, because it's a very interesting one.
I was involved in the Better Group years ago, and we put together an empowerment transaction and sold 26% of the shares to a trust called the New Deal Trust. The trust has as its beneficiaries all the black estate agents of South Africa as registered with the EAAB at any given point in time. And the object of the trust is the empowerment of black people in the real estate industry. So having sold those shares in the Better Group years ago, there was quite a bit of money in the bank, and the trustees, for better or for worse, decided that the best way to empower agents is to launch a national company that belongs to black estate agents, and that is what Leapfrog is today. 25% of its shares belongs to the Leapfroggers, the people that are involved in Leapfrog one way or the other, and that means all of them. And 75% belongs to the New Deal Trust, in other words, to the black estate agents of South Africa.
Great, so I think you mentioned to me you're about number 10 at the moment, and obviously you've got aspirations to grow and that kind of stuff, and I think this BEE aspect of it does certainly add a lot to your armory in terms of the future of the company.
Now, Neil, I do believe we're in the top 10, hard to measure because nobody publishes figures. But if we're not there, then we're very close, but I'm pretty sure we are.
Okay.
And yes, I do see the empowerment angle as important. The government is getting more and more serious about black economic empowerment. The property charter has entered a new phase, another 5-year phase, and the pressure is certainly mounting. So being the only agency with black equity shares, there are many points you can score to get your rating right. But we're the only one that has that very important and hard to achieve facet to our business. So that looks good and is working well for us.
Great. Tell us a little bit about prior to Leapfrog, we formed the whole PA group and how it came about and how Leapfrog, because I think it's a great story. And also in publishing, the Home Finder was.
You want me to explain where I spent 30 years?
Yeah. in about 3 minutes.
I'll try. Now, I was one of 20 agents in 1983 that launched what was then called the Property Association. Down the line, I became the chairman and saw an opportunity and slowly but surely turned that Property Association, an association not for gain, into a limited company, the PA Group Limited. We launched more and more publications, having started with one in Johannesburg.
The
first one was called Home Finder,
right,
and that merged into what became the Property Guide, which was distributed through the Star, and which today is called just Property. And there was the Home Finder in Pretoria, which today is Junction, and so forth, quite a few other publications. So played quite a role with the publicity side for advertising properties for sale, simply because it was such an expense in our lives. Only diminishing today, by the way, with the advent of the internet and so forth. Mm-hmm. And from the publications, we built up quite a team with this company. It became a successful business. And when the opportunity arose to do mortgage origination, we just had the team ready and the relationships with 16,000 agents countrywide at that time. I'm talking 1999. And launched mortgage origination very successfully. Merged with Better Bond in 2003 to become the biggest originator in South Africa. And today that company is called Better Group, and it's still number one. I fortunately, for my own betterment, I suppose, sold my shares in 2006 and took some time off, and only subsequent to that became very involved in launching Leapfrog to establish that.
Great. Now tell us a little bit about a little bit of advice for home buyers and investors out there, because obviously we've been through a tough 5 years, and moving forward, where do you kind of see the market going? What advice would you give people right now?
I don't expect fireworks in the market. I think we've got a stable market. I don't think it's in the medium ranges overpriced at all. I don't see big corrections coming. I foresee a 2-3 year chugging along, as I put it, forward. Sooner or later there must be a boom again, because building houses, new houses, are more expensive than buying existing ones, so the prices will pick up again. and it's good to be a homeowner. If you make your second, third and fourth property investment, you may want to consider other factors and other investments, because to have all your money or most of it in real estate is not necessarily clever. And maybe for a pure investor, there are better opportunities on the short term. But for the average South African, I firmly believe that you must try and own at least your house that you live in, because in the long run, that will be your investment, that will be your capital growth, that will be the one thing that you can show years later, and which you can use to fund other things with as things go along. That's the wealth builder for the average Joe Bloggs South African.
Correct. And you gave one piece of advice, I think, for investors out there. It was related to the debt trap.
Yeah. Neale asked me earlier, well, what is a philosophy? And I firmly believe you only borrow money to buy an asset worth, like a house. Never to live on, never to drive in if you can help it, never to wear, never to travel with. I know it's not always possible, but that certainly does help. Whereas to make debt to buy an asset, that's just good thinking. Then it's somebody else's money making it work for you. So that's always good.
Jan, thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thanks.
It was really nice chatting to you.
My pleasure.